Genshin Impact's voice actor is at it again, baby. Paimon is at it again. That's right. I gotta make another video because this chick just can't stop. She keeps providing content for me, boys. This is crazy. The infamous toilet video. The infamous toilet video. That's right, boys. I found it. I found it for y'all. She is getting into it here. She is obviously just talking crap out of her mouth. No pun intended, baby. Let's get into it here as she tries to defend SAG AFTRA's BS while on the toilet taking an S. You know what I mean? All right, that's it.
Yes, you are seeing me directly in front of a toilet because I am disabled and I've been vomiting all day. But I'm on here to tell you guys, hey, for those of you...
That's right, boys. Have sympathy for me. Please, please, baby. Give me some more sympathy. I have gastrointestinal issues, and that's why you should listen to my absolute horse crap that I'm about to spew out of my mouth.
Have demanded that I explain SAG and the strike right this second to you because there's no other voice actors that will.
You know why they won't? Because SAG AFTRA is one of the most predatory unions that there is. As somebody that has worked a little bit in the acting industry and understands how an acting union works, let me just tell you, you want unions in the voice acting space. This is for a Chinese company. You don't want this kind of union. I promise you, this kind of union is one of the most predatory unions that there is. This is terrible. They have taken a space that needed a union and provided it something that will absolutely screw any kind of voice actor over. I mean, I've watched Joe's video where he tried to, direct hate away from the union and more onto the actors. And by the end of it, it was nobody's fault. When in reality, I promise you, dude, that union is one of the most evil things to have ever entered the voice acting space in a while.
I'm busy vomiting into this toilet every 5 seconds.
Dude.
But also, tell me that you've never fucking tried to look for this information without telling me you've never tried to fucking look for this information.
Oh my God, boys.
Not only me have I been public on here, but literally there are so many actors that have been on social media to explain what's going on. Kyle McCarley has posted stuff. There's literally
so give me sympathy, baby. Give me sympathy because I'm on the toilet. And dude, one of the top comments is this AI too?
Who's trying to post stuff right now about what's going on? Dude, SAG AFTRA even has
what is up with that face?
That anybody can join for information about what's going on with the SAG strike. Non-union voice actors, hell, I've even known non-voice actors to join in those town halls.
Sorry about that, boys. Her face is half hidden, half buried in a toilet. I can't pull it up. And like literally, it's too low. She didn't record it well enough. I feel like I'm at the bottom of a freaking Doritos can while she eats.
Nava Voices answers a lot of questions about what's going on with the strike right now. It is...
Dude, what the fuck? Why?
It's my job to tell you what's going on, and honestly, at this point, with as much misinformation as you guys are willing to make without, like, there's so many sources out there of what's going on.
So she strikes. She's defending the strike, attacking Jacob Takanashi, but she thinks that she shouldn't have to explain herself to anybody. It's like, lady, your career's ruined if you don't. Okay, it's ruined if you don't. You are protecting one of the most predacious unions that could possibly exist. You're attacking another fellow voice actor for taking a job that you weren't even supposed to be striking to begin with. like, are you not supposed to strike the game, or are you? Because either way, lady, it's bad for you. I'm just saying. Dude, that is one of the fakest things I've ever heard in my life.
The YouTube channels that used my TikToks as a way to like bash SAG and the strike.
I do because it's funny.
Said that, like if somebody joins the union, they can't work on non-union ever again. I'm in the union and I'm working on a Hoyo game that's non-union. What? Crazy. Oh my God.
Yeah,
what?
Crazy.
It's almost like that's possible.
It's almost like you just attacked another voice actor for not even being a part of the union and for working for that game that you are working for. almost like you're a scab, almost like you're a hypocrite. I don't know, boys. It's like it's impossible to understand her because all I hear is nya 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 nya. Like, Jesus Christ, dude. Can you have a normal voice for 2 seconds? I know you do.
Yes, there's technically a rule for that, but SAG also knows that if anybody works on union stuff,
Jesus,
usually
dude.
it's people that need the money, and they're not going to attack you for that because they are first and foremost actor first, especially.
Yeah, totally. They're totally actor first with that $4,000. Depending on the state that you live, the price increases for your union dues, by the way. If the inflation is more there, even though our company isn't placed there, well, guess what? You got to pay. You got to pay more, buddy. They're totally actor first with that kind of shit. My ass, bro.
For their union members. And I'm not saying that SAG is perfect, but bottom line is that the only way an actor is 100% safe in any contract is if it's a SAG contract.
No. It's if it's a union contract, not a predacious union, not one that is going to take all your money. Like, dude, voice actors already don't make enough, which is why there isn't a union for these Genshin Impact voice actors. That's why there's not, because they don't make enough. They don't make enough for there to be a union. There's no financial incentive. So do you know where the financial incentive is coming from this union? Yeah, it's coming from because they're trying to get a bunch of money out of the voice actors' pockets, and it's absolutely predatory. I mean, I've literally showed you clips in the past of voice actors saying that they could be offered another role, audition for that role, but then they would have to back out of that role and say, if you want me, you have to sign on the union. You have to become a union game, and for in perpetuity, you have to work with said union. In perpetuity. Yeah, every single game is going to say F no to that.
So, let's say you even have a non-union contract that even has AI protection in it. Do you have the money for a lawyer?
Do you have the money for your union dues? Jesus Christ, bro. There ain't no way, dude. There ain't no way.
Because I bet you don't.
I bet you don't have the money for those union dues either.
Because when I wasn't getting paid for 7 months last year.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
When that happened, I couldn't do anything because it wasn't a SAG contract, and
dude, if it was a different union, they would do the same thing, and they wouldn't force you to pay union dues, at least to that extent. And they also would not force other voice actors to basically quit the job. Yes, they might not. By the way, if you don't understand how this works, as soon as Genshin signs on to be a union game with SAG AFTRA, the voice actors that are there have a certain amount of time that they can work for that game before they either have to join the union or get the F out. Predatory.
I couldn't afford a lawyer. And then some fucker in Twitter was like, you know, if that happened, people would sign up for a GoFundMe and help out immediately. Oh, really? Where was my GoFundMe then?
Your voice is annoying. That's why nobody wants to fund your ass.
When I came forward about not getting paid. Where was that?
I remember whenever she came forward about not wanting to join SAG, but had to keep a role.
It's unreliable.
Yeah, so are you, lady. I can't get a read on your ass.
You shouldn't have to rely on that. Also, the SAG strike right now, we're not even asking for a pay raise. We're literally asking for AI protection.
That it already has, by the way. The game already has AI protections. It's illegal to use AI in China. It is already AI protected. So why is SAG having a strike? Well, an unofficial strike. Why are the actors striking for AI protections when they already have AI protections? I wonder why. Well, maybe because they're trying to strong arm the game into going union, which would then force a lot of other actors to either go union or get the F out. And she might say that it takes longer than it does, but it still happens. It still happens. Like, you are on a time limit. I don't care how long the time limit is. You are on a effing time limit.
And for mocap actors to be considered actors, not just data. Okay? You're telling me that companies can't sign that? If they are truly not gonna... Hello?
Hello? Sign with my union in perpetuity. Become a union game to where you can only hire union-based actors for forever. Jesus.
Also, non-union people can be in a union contract. They can do that.
For a specific amount of time. For a specific amount of time.
It's called a Taft-Hartley.
Yeah, and it's for a specific amount of time. They have the same thing with the actors union.
But yeah, again, whatever. But, there's only a certain amount of Taft-Hartleys that you can do before you become a must-join. Okay, then as long as you don't work on another separate union contract.
So if SAG AFTRA gets what they want, which is a monopoly over the voice acting and gaming space, you will be able to go work nowhere at all. So say you work at Genshin and another game which is contracted to SAG AFTRA, well then you are immediately a must join. Immediately, by the way. If you can work on multiple Genshins before you have to become a must join, but if you work on 2 different contracts at the same time, you will become immediately a must join.
Again, you don't have to join until that moment.
Yeah, see what she's saying? Until that moment, because you have to at that point. You have to.
But it's $3,000 to join. Okay, and you know what? SAG also offers a lot of options.
Go into debt, boys, so I can get my union. You go into debt for perpetuity so I can get my union. By the way, there's interest on that loan. There's interest as well. Jesus Christ, dude. She's so disingenuous. It's almost laughable.
To help you pay that off.
Yeah, let's help you pay that off. Jeez.
There's also a 30-day grace period, too.
Oh, dude, only 30 days? Only 30 days? I get more of a grace period from my freaking bank on Christmas whenever I file for an extended, you know what I'm talking about? Extended payment.
Okay, you know how long it takes somebody to become a must-join? Usually takes years.
Oh, wow. That makes it so much better that some people get years before they become a must join because they have such little fucking work because they're only hiring union-based actors. I wonder why it becomes years because the games that become union mainly only hire union-based actors. Ain't that crazy? Ain't like that is a strong arm in a company to hire our employees so we can get more of a percentage.
Somebody to become a must join. Like, come on. I've known people that have been been SAG eligible for 10 years before. So I don't know why.
Then how come you were forced to join SAG AFTRA? Oh wait, it's because you went and tried to work on a different game that was also SAG AFTRA. Almost like that makes it immediately you are forced to either pay that $3,000 or get the F out.
People are freaking out about this. This is ridiculous.
Oh, dude, it's predatory.
Also,
it is ridiculous.
If something was flipped union, it means all the non-union voice actors would be fired. Super fucking not true.
They would eventually.
What the fuck, dude?
What the fuck, dude? Yeah, they don't technically get fired, boys. They get put on a notice. You get put on a notice is what it is. After you work for so long, you get put on a notice. It's not that you're fired. You get told once the game goes full union, after a while, after you have this specific time limit of you working for them, by the way, because it's a union game and you're on whatever the freak she was calling it. I don't remember what it's called, where you can work on it for a certain amount of time before you're either forced to join the union or get the F out. And if you go work on a second game that is also a part of that union, well, then you're forced to join the union then or get the F out. That's how it works. So you're technically not fired. You're just, you're put on notice. You're put on notice.
Stop just saying shit. That's so stupid. There are so many.
They're going to immediately get fired. Nobody's saying they're going to get immediately fired, you freaking lady. Jesus, dude, I can't even make her voice. That's how bad it is.
Online that have tried and done their best to explain SAG to you guys.
Almost like no matter how much they explain it, everybody's like, that's still predatory, that's still bad. And they're like, no, it's fucking not. It's a union. Just because it's a union does not mean it's a fucking good one. Like I promise you, this is not a good union. This is a bad union. This is one of those ones that causes voice actors to go broke. This is another starving artist, okay?
So any of you claiming that, well, you voice actors just have never told us, bullshit. Bullshit.
Nobody's saying that. We're saying that what you're saying is wrong.
Right now, literally,
it's disingenuous at best.
I'm also autistic, and I'm not
What the fuck? What? Oh God, sorry, I haven't seen that word. What the fuck? Oh my God, dude. Oh God. Oh man, it's we couldn't tell, boys. It's not like we could tell, okay? We couldn't tell at all, man. You're just sitting on a fucking toilet talking shit. Oh God.
I'm not. But that's absolutely bullshit because I've seen it. I've seen it myself.
Have you?
Just didn't look.
Have you? Like when you got forced to join the union?
YouTubers and not actual
Yeah, like when you got forced to join the union, huh? You've seen it yourself, all right. You've definitely seen it yourself. I could pull up the video.
It's crazy, I know. Also, somebody brought up the fact that SAG at one point alluded to the fact that non-union actors were less than. First of all,
They are, by the way. When a game signs to SAG AFTRA, when they sign to a union like that, a voice acting union, the game will prioritize hiring union workers over non-union. Do you know why? Because when the game signs the contract with SAG AFTRA, that is a detail that SAG AFTRA puts in there. I promise you it is. It is. I know how this works. It is. They literally prioritize. They will only hire non-union workers on a union game whenever they are out of union workers or good ones, okay? Or good ones.
Fucking union actor used to be a non-union actor at some point.
Yeah, you got forced to join, didn't you?
But he didn't bring up the fact that the union actors themselves within the union actually blasted SAG for saying that. We all...
Wow, did you? Did you? You also blasted Jacob Takanashi for getting a role with a non-union game as a non-union voice actor. Huh. Almost like you immediately thought he was less than, right? Right? Man, almost like that's the case. Almost like you blasted SAG for the same shit that you're doing. Jesus, dude.
I fucking told them off. All of us.
Did you? Did you tell yourself off in the mirror, lady?
Okay.
Oh, she is making me so mad.
Also, that didn't happen during this strike. That happened during a previous
No
strike.
crap.
Why are you just mentioning it now?
Why are you just mentioning it now? Nobody mentioned it but you, lady. You're talking to yourself in your bathroom sitting on a toilet. And I think you have more than autism as a problem. Genuinely. I think you're freaking narcissist.
Because
dude.
You just learned about it now? Because that's how far behind you are? Makes sense.
Let me talk down to you. Makes sense. Hope that helps. Makes sense. Help me make it sense.
Not truly protected as an actor unless it's a union contract. Or you are privately rich and can afford a lawyer yourself.
Yes.
Most voice actors.
A union protects a voice actor, and you are not protected unless you are in a union. But that does not mean that you make yourself vulnerable and sign a predacious ass contract that's going to make a lot of stuff harder for everybody else. And then also attack another actor for being non-union and not doing with your strike that was supposedly, according to Joe's video, not a sanctioned strike. No crap, dude. When does a union ever sanction a strike? Like, he's trying to seriously move heat away from the union and more onto the actors, and then he even tried to remove it from the actors, when in reality, dude, it is so bad. It is so bad. You really think that there is not behind the doors stuff is going on? They literally tell you to audition for a role and then say that you cannot take that role unless the game goes union. That is predacious, okay? And yes, they did not organize this strike, but a lot of their actors did. And why did a lot of their actors do it?
Are not rich. I've said that here before.
Yeah, they're fucking broke, so how are they going to afford $3,000?
I'm also going to bring up this. Somebody brought up that
Dude,
not every actor...
Feel sorry for me, boys. I have acid indigestion.
I also called bullshit on that, because how else are they going to work for Disney or...
dude.
Work for DreamWorks.
Man, dude, let's make this so the top 1%, it works for the top 1%, and for everybody else, let's make sure you get fucked over. Like I said, go into debt so you can get my union. Jesus.
Or work on AAA projects like something like...
Yeah, not everybody's that lucky, lady.
Bioshock and the Call of Duties and stuff like that. Really? They don't want to work on that stuff?
No crap. That doesn't mean that they make it to where only you can work and they have to be starved out because they can't take a lot of other roles. It literally shortens the amount of roles that they can take. They can only work on union games and they can work on a few non-union before they get in trouble. And so whenever there's all these union games and they can only really work on, or there's all these non-union games and they can only work on like 20% of games that they otherwise would have, what does that do? It starves the people that are lower on the totem pole out. And it bolsters the people that are on the upper part of the totem pole that can work those AAA games, that have that kind of background. Do you see what I'm saying? This is a predatory union. This is by far one of the worst things that has happened to the voice acting space in gaming. I promise you.
Unless they're a hobbyist, which means they don't want to get paid for voice acting.
Yeah, BS, dude. There's no hobbyist. There's no hobbyist. That's just what you tell yourself.
That means they're not getting paid for voiceover. I promise you, if they're getting paid for voiceover, they do want to work on that stuff. Meaning, they want to join the union. Crazy. In fact,
so disingenuous.
One question that I get asked in my class is, how do I join the union? I just really want to join the union right now. So I can
so that they can get those jobs over other people, by the way. That's what happens when these games go union like this. If you are not a part of the union, then you are not prioritized. Do you know why they're so desperate to join a union? Because unions like this, whenever they sign with the game, the game then prioritizes the union actors. They do. I promise you they do. They are hired way more above the non-union actors. Okay, so if you want voice work, well, then you better get into the union. Almost sounds like it's not a great thing, right?
those auditions. Hello? Which technically they can get those auditions now, but this is all very nuanced, and unless you are an actor or know this or like in the union yourself, you don't know what you're talking about. So
I know what I'm talking about a little bit. They're trying to act like this is like the actors union when it is not, boys. It is nowhere even near anything, and the actors union has its own issues. So if the actors union has its own issues and this has major red flags, well, I can tell you right now, you don't want this. You don't want it, lady. You might want it so you can get your AAA titles more because you already got screwed over and signed on to the union. So now you needed to get those AAA titles. But guess what? Everybody else, they don't want it. They really don't want it. I promise you, you don't.
Again, go look at Kyle McCarley's Blue Sky, Twitter, or whatever the fuck.
I'm not going on Blue Sky, you woke liberal piece of shit. I ain't touching that woke trash. Dude, flush that woke trash down the toilet right now. I ain't touching that woke garbage.
Go look at Nava Voices. There's so many fucking people out there giving you free information about this.
Hey, just take my free disingenuous information, please. Just take it, because I have an incentive to lie, which is I was already forced to join the union. So now for me to work on non-union titles, well, I can only work on so many, so I need them to go union. But me as a YouTuber, I have more of an incentive to lie my freaking ass, lady. Hope that helps.
Found it. Well, then you didn't look. Okay? That's where I'm at. Now, can I please be disabled and
oh, please feel sorry for me. Please feel sorry for me. Please. I'm sitting over the toilet. And I'm fake gagging. And most of this was probably scripted. And if not, it should have been. Jesus, boys. All right, guys. What do you think? Paper or plastic? Paper being good, plastic being bad. You guys let me know down below what you guys think. I'm going with plastic. This is a plastic lady. Okay, she is plastic as all get out. I wouldn't call myself crazy for thinking she's got plastic surgery if she wasn't looking like a gargoyle. All right, boys, that's it for me. GG's, peace.